Welcome to A Guide Through the Classroom Assessment Process, Module Number 2, Alignment and Planning. This module was written by Lakeisha Young, an Instructional Support Specialist with the Illinois Center for School Improvement. The purpose of this module is to assist teachers as they align and plan their instruction and assessment towards student achievement goals. Session outcomes include increased understanding of the mission of the Illinois Center for School Improvement, the concept of alignment and planning related to assessment, and the alignment and planning process. The mission of the Illinois Center for School Improvement is high-performing districts, high-achieving students. The work of Illinois CSI centers on building the capacity of district, school, and instructional leadership teams to make data-informed decisions that result in increased student performance. When we speak of alignment related to the creation of assessments, we begin with the premise that any test created by teachers should be built from learning standards. The purpose of alignment is to ensure that student assessments intentionally assess student progress towards state standards and district objectives, and that high student achievement is attained. In this way, assessments provide meaningful data that can be used to guide teaching instruction, resulting in a higher level of student success. Consider this GPS analogy for how our destination, high student achievement, is achieved. State standards are the starting point when creating tests for the district and classroom levels. Now that we have an understanding of the concept of alignment and assessment planning, let's think about the implementation process. Alignment is similar to choosing a vacation spot. First, you decide where you want to go, and then plan how to get there. A state standard as an end-of-year goal describes where you want to go. Assessment is the measurement of how close or far you are to your destination. Instruction is how you get there. Some think they should plan or create a test after they have taught. In reality, skills for the end of the year or quarter are identified first. The test is created to measure those skills. Then there is a lesson plan to teach the skills that will be tested. Identifying standards answers the question, to where do I want my students to move by the end of the school year? The standard states what students should know and be able to do when they leave the current grade level. In Illinois, the Illinois Learning Standards incorporating Common Core state standards provide the guide for the alignment process. Common Core state standards are vertically designed in learning progressions so that each level builds a foundation for the next regarding the same skills. Here's a closer look at the standard from the previous slide. When you read a standard, it may be helpful to place the phrase, "At the end of the year, students should be able to," in front of the standard. For instance, at the end of the year, students should be able to cite several pieces of textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly, as well as inferences drawn from the text. The next question is, what and how do I teach in order for students to accomplish this goal by the end of the year? We now move on to consider how to actually create an assessment that aligns with standards. Assessment should provide data along the way to determine what students still need after being taught to reach their destination. In a balanced assessment approach, assessments will include formative assessments, interim assessments, and summative assessments. In this example, 5 college readiness skills will be taught during the course of the school year to meet one Common Core state standard. Tests are created to measure these skills on different depth of knowledge levels. Next, we focus on instruction, how the skill will be taught and when, in accordance with the district and school's pacing guide and curriculum maps. Instruction should be aligned to the test that is already created, guiding the teaching process to ensure that all objectives for the time frame are taught and measured. Once a teacher has tested and measured students' understanding using formative assessments, the teaching and pacing of the objectives should be adjusted to meet the needs of the students. The standard serves as the guide for the year to help with choosing college readiness skills, what will be taught, and creating a test, how the skills will be measured. Data from aligned formative assessments guide next steps, such as reteaching and tutorials, to meet student needs and ensure that high student achievement is accomplished by the end of the teaching and learning cycle. To review, alignment is a best practice for assessment planning, allows for the collection of data and planning conversations related to the standards, and guides the teaching and learning cycle to ensure that lessons are planned to meet the identified standards in the intended time frame. This flowchart shows the entire alignment process and how all components are connected. Simply put, this process creates teaching and testing that are in alignment, ensuring that the correct skills are taught and tested to meet the end of the year goal. Now, using your reflection tool in the Next Steps column, reflect on how you will use this information and share it within your district. What conversations can you have to ensure that you have the support you need to meet your students' learning needs?